So let's pick some basil and then we'll get started in the video. Since I'm working on some of my basil, I have to take the leaves off the stems. I thought I would sit with you today and talk to you a little bit about how I got my name Homestead Tessie. I think I did this video way back 4 years ago, and I thought there's so many new subscribers, and I thought maybe they would enjoy hearing a little bit my story, my name, and what's behind my name Homestead Tessie. As you guys know, I've been going back to my roots, and that means going back to my roots of my YouTube channel. I really want to point out that I have a lot of videos, and you should go back and watch some of my very first videos because they're very unique. I'm just totally different in front of the camera than what I used to be. I used to be so extremely shy, and now I'm not so shy anymore. But I wanted to share with you a little bit my story and how I became Homestead Tessie. Way back in 2007, we were deep in debt. And my life was totally different then. Now the debt that we had was not credit card debt or debt like that. It was just debt from different businesses. I have videos on it, how we got out of debt, and we are still debt free. But I wanted to share with you a little bit the whole story of me and how I became on YouTube. It's quite a long story, but I'll make it real short. I had a life-threatening condition, and I promised the Lord that if He would get me through that I would change my ways or change our ways. And like I said, we didn't really spend frivolously. It was just different investments that just didn't go the way we thought they would go. And we sold everything that we owned, and we bought an old home. I started blogging in 2007, and I was a blogger. I had a very old computer and dial-up internet. In those days it was called Xanga. It's X-A-N-G-A. And I was Homestead Tessie. But where did I get the name Homestead Tessie? Well, we sold everything. I decided to homestead. And we have a little area where we had chickens and we have gardens. And it was a small home that we sold, and then we moved into here because this actually had more land. Tessie came from a beloved word that my father called me when I was a little girl. In fact, my daddy was the only one who ever called me Tessie. Tessie was my dad's pet name for me. And I became Homestead Tessie on the internet. And I actually have some girls that still follow me today that followed me all of those years ago. And so I blogged about my life. I blogged about my mother-in-law, and I blogged about my grandma. A lot like what my videos are today. I had a lot of recipes, I talked about my life, and it was so much fun. And then Xanga closed. And when that closed down, I stopped blogging. And I always enjoyed that outlet because it was a way for me to correspond with other people. I became friends with lots of people, and it opened a whole new world for me, a world that I didn't know. Because at age 17, when I got married, I had 3 small children, I left school, I didn't have that close contact with people my age. And so it filled my heart and my soul with gladness because I was able to communicate with people. And then for a couple years, I didn't do anything online until one day my son decided to really try to talk me into YouTube. It took me, I think, about 2 years of his coaxing me to get into YouTube before I started YouTube in December of 2016. December 20th of 2016, I made my first video. I made that video 4 times, cried, deleted all the videos because I was just absolutely so nervous. A lot of you know in the beginning of my videos I had a front tooth that was really damaged, and so it really affected my self-esteem and the way I looked. And those beginning videos you can still see to this day. And having my tooth fixed is really what helped transpire me into someone more confident. But because of all of you, you have really boosted my confidence and you really boost my self-esteem, that making videos now really doesn't bother me very much. In fact, I'm not really nervous at all. I had to do something for the very first time, and that was last week at the food pantry at the food truck hall. The pastor asked if I would lead in prayer, and I did so, and I really wasn't nervous at all. It's hard to believe that it's the same person that I was 5 years ago. I still talk rather Dutchy, and I still don't pronounce my words right, and maybe I misspell them a few times in my punctuation, but I think that all just helps bring the charm in my life. I think that helps show where I come from. You know, coming from a plain background and coming from a very plain community, we weren't exposed to the outside world like some people were. And let me tell you one thing, being on YouTube, I sure am exposed now to the outside world, but yet I can do it in the comfort of my own home. So I have the safety of my own home, but yet I can be out in the world, and I think that is the perfect combination for someone like me. Yes, I traveled to many countries. My parents' best friends were missionaries from Haiti, but I still was in the comfort of my own community there. And I still think I have that sense of being naive and being really sheltered, and I am so grateful for that. I am grateful that I am sheltered. I am so glad I lived the life that I lived, because I've seen the outside world, and I really don't want to have any part of that mainstream outside way of living. I hope you enjoyed this little talk about Homestead Tessie, and that is my name. I've always kept that name, and I always will keep that name because it has such a tender place in my heart, and it's to honor my daddy, who always called me his sweet little Miss Tessie. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey, if you like this video, can you do me one big favor? Can you make sure you give me a thumbs up? Thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.